What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk about why your indifference could be a sign that you're ready to take action and you're ready to move forward towards your dreams. So let's get right into it. What is indifference? Indifference is categorized as a state of neutrality, meaning you don't necessarily have any force or any push towards wanting something, and you don't necessarily have any force or any push towards not wanting something. You don't care one way or the other. Whatever that situation is, it just is. It doesn't necessarily sway you in any way, shape, or form. Now, indifference in itself is not necessarily a bad or destructive thing. It's not necessarily a good or productive thing. It's simply neutral. Now, there's a lot of things in our life that we do have feelings towards one way or the other. Meaning there's things that we want, there's things that we don't want, there's things that we harbor a lot of emotion towards that keeps us moving. Things like our jobs. Gives you a paycheck and pays your bills. You may not like to do it, but you like the feeling of having your bills paid, so you'll do it. And in most cases, that feeling of having that accomplishment, having your bills paid, and having, the regular paycheck coming in, it is enough to keep you in a state of at least being able to make yourself want to do the work that you have to do, to go above and beyond, to maybe seek promotions or seek outside education, to wear a certain mask and operate within the confines of an entity that you have a symbiotic relationship with, because you're giving your energy to that entity, you're giving your time to that entity, and becoming who that entity wants you to be. And the entity will provide you benefits such as a social circle, perhaps your medical, dental, vision, in addition to other benefits, and obviously the salary or hourly pay that you're getting, or commission pay, whatever the case may be. Now, in most cases, when it comes to the job, you tend to stay away from indifference. For some people, they live in indifference, especially if their job is something mundane, routine, where they're just performing repetitive tasks. You can operate within a state of indifference on jobs like that, and that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is a little deeper. Now, before I get into that, I want to give one more example. Indifference in regards to relationship. Now, in most relationships, it usually will start off pretty hot, and then over time it cools down. So you'll have this honeymoon phase where everything is great, like the sun is brighter, it seems perfect, this person can't do no harm. And then after a while, the reality of the situation starts to settle in, and you settle into a familiar routine. Now, the successful relationships find a way to keep that spark alive, find a way to continually make their relationship feel new. You could say that they're always exhibiting a state of wanting to grow, and they're always taking action, taking steps towards that. And the love that they have for their partner could be the underlying fuel for that, or it could be the status that they get from the relationship, could be finances, or the family atmosphere. There's a number of reasons that can help create a baseline to maintain that state of wanting the relationship to grow or not wanting to be an individual. But you can operate within a state of indifference within a relationship too. And we've all seen that, where somebody's just not putting in the effort, and it doesn't matter what you say to them, they just don't seem invested at all. And then obviously it's like, they don't want to be with you, right? Or they don't care either way, whether they're with you or they're not with you. And in regards to work, the level of indifference that I'm talking about is when you know that this you don't have another out. This job pays the majority of your bills, but still there's something inside of you that feels like, you know what? This isn't it. This isn't it. And that feeling starts as just a spark and begins to grow. And it comes to a point where you can no longer force yourself to wear the mask. You can no longer force yourself to want to give energy to the entity. In terms of a relationship, it could be you're growing, you're learning something different, you're becoming a different person. And the vibration of the relationship no longer matches your frequency, where it is that you're trying to get to, or where it is that you now are. So I want to talk about indifference in both of these cases, and why that indifference that I just described there is your key that you're ready for something new. Now, I want you to look at this from a non-judgmental perspective, meaning I don't want you to judge and say, oh, well, you're talking about people leaving relationships they've been in for years, or leaving a job without a fallback or anything like that. All that I'm doing is talking. Your situation is your situation. And I can tell you this: faith without works is dead. If you believe that stepping outside of that work or outside of that relationship would cause you harm, then it likely would cause you harm. But if you've been falling into that state of indifference, it's likely because you've been you've been meditating on something that you feel you deserve, something that you feel you can obtain. And in those meditations, you've created a world that's now calling to you. What you seek is seeking you. Those people, places, and situations are lining up to meet, greet, and help you ascend. And your indifference will soon turn into frustration if you don't make the move. Now, I understand that there can be many factors in play in regards to making a move, such as whether or not it's time to leave a job, leave a relationship, and pursue whatever you need to pursue. So what I'm not saying is, I'm not saying that you just up and quit your job, quit your relationship right now. Like, that's not it. It's more of your indifference is telling you that it's time to take some type of action. So that may not be the action that you need to take right now. In terms of the work, if your dream has been building your own business, perhaps you start seeing what you need to do in order to make that happen. If there's some type of training or something that you need, you can look into that, do some research, and figure out what potential opportunities are available to you. Taking even the smallest step towards that dream that you have, it's like when you take a small step, more of the path is illuminated. Now you can see potential directions or avenues that you can travel in. But you'll never know what is out there if you're not even willing to entertain a line of thought, such as doing something that could potentially feel drastic to you given your current situation. Indifference is painful to those around you. So when you go to work and you're entering that state of indifference, there's others who depend on your position, and your indifference causes them pain because they can pick up on it. In the relationship, your indifference causes your partner pain. Your indifference causes your partner to potentially feel like they're not worthy, they're not enough. And if we are on this path, all of us, growing, that's not what we want. It's not what we want. We're not in this to hurt anybody. Vibes change, frequencies change, you grow, we all grow. Things are always in a constant state of motion, constant state of expansion. So this isn't about judging your previous state or judging the previous places that you occupied. This isn't about judging the partner in your relationship. No. This is about allowing the full fulfillment of who you can be, who your potential partner can be. The next person who's waiting to be happy, who's dreaming about your position that you haven't left yet. There's somebody dreaming about being in your position, but you're not willing to take the action to leave. Your indifference is letting you know that this frequency is no longer your home. You have to grow. That's what it's telling you. You have to grow. You have to be more. You have to do more. You have to see more. And I promise you, when you start taking that step, you'll see things line up for you. You'll see that in an almost miraculous fashion, all of your needs are met. Your worst fears are never realized, so you can toss those aside. And only hold on to them if you'd like to see them realized. Now, I hope that there's something that you got from this video. I hope that in whatever situation you're in, you take a moment and you seriously think, where's your indifference coming from? What are you not taking action towards? Who are you hurting with your indifference? And where could you be if you accepted that there's more for you? I love you. I want to see the fullest expression of you. This is a spark.